team from Lexi AI. They're doing some phenomenal work. We're delighted to have them. Mark, why don't you go ahead and get started? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your Web3 journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually on a airplane right now, about to take off. So just the timing of my flight. But yeah, so my background, it might be pretty loud in here. Actually, I'm sorry if it's some background noise there. But yeah, so I started in Web3 like 2017. My background is in finance and accounting, and just kind of transitions full time into Web3 about 2 years ago. And so normally what we do is project services to provide Web3 advisory consulting for large projects. Like to be really selective about it. So for example, like our client list includes Aptos Network, Kite AI. We help normally with like token launches and kind of like grant program management, treasury management, things like that. And then what we kind of discovered through like the years of Web3 was it's really like lacking in privacy. And so, just like on-chain privacy tools, there isn't really great solutions for that. At least when we started building this out, like back in May of this past year, and so that's we kind of got into building these tools, and that's where we came up with Lexi and the application that we built for it.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more on privacy being, at the forefront and certainly, a massive narrative in the space right now. Ian, tell us about yourself.
Sure thing. So, hey everyone, my name is Ian. I'm the CTO at Lexi. Um, so I got started by working in traditional finance. I worked in a couple of family offices, a couple of big banks in their asset management department, and then eventually in the nonprofit sector. From there, I learned about crypto, learned that that was going to be the future of finance, and just dove right in. Um, I came from kind of a non-coding background, and crypto got me wanting to learn how to code, how to get into the nitty-gritty of it. So I taught myself coding and just started getting involved with as much projects as I can with open source projects. Through that, I opened up my own consulting agency called Crow Web3 Consulting Agency, where I audit code, build products, and just validate some of the blockchain projects out there. So kind of that's what got me involved with Mark and then with Drew as well. Um, and so I was really happy to get involved with this project, and that's kind of where I am at right now.
Very cool. Drew, love to hear from you.
Sure thing. So again, I'm Drew from New York. So I started my career as a commodities broker back in 2008. So I was trading like gasoline, heating oil, like gold and silver option contracts on the NYMEX, the New York Mercantile Exchange. So after that, I worked more like in traditional like industries like fintech, medical, insurance, mostly on more growth strategy and operations. I was always aware of crypto, but didn't seriously focus on it early on. The real like light bulb moment came for me like during COVID. I started seeing more of like a lot of parallels between like Bitcoin and like the precious metals like gold and silver because like scarcity, the trust, and like the hedging aspect of it. So once the idea of like Bitcoin as digital gold clicked, everything basically made sense. From there, I mostly just approached crypto as like a long-term like believer, just mostly like DCAing the whole like dollar cost averaging. But I became like more interested like in the industry in itself. So around the same time, I had like the opportunity to start working behind the scenes in some projects on Web3, helping teams scale and operate. And that's actually how I met Ian. So we had connected through like the Web3 world, and we ended up working together on some consulting projects. Yeah, like Ian, like we just call him basically our chief nerd. He is. So he handled like all the technical applications for the company that we're consulting for. So we always told him that like one day we'll work on some sort of project. Then I actually met Mark a few years later in South America. We were both like involved in a project, and we generally um, bonded over like how basically disorganized projects were. We saw, in fact, like there was a lot of things that were companies weren't really like operating properly, and we saw it as like an opportunity. So we basically stayed in touch and eventually came to an idea. Well, he came to me with an idea, which again was Lexi. Generally loved the concept, and we started working on that to see, in fact, yeah, how we can actually show like a better opportunities in Web3 just for ourselves.
Absolutely. Um, I think Mark just cut out on us. I wanted to dig into the problem statement a little bit more, so maybe Ian or Drew can chime in. Of course, privacy is at the forefront, but why is that so? And kind of just dig in more on why privacy and why right now.
Ian, you want to take that?
Yeah, certainly. Um, so one of the great things about blockchain is, it's very, very transparent. You can see what's going on with everyone else. It makes it really, really perfect. But unfortunately, for some of the cases that we have in finance, we need a little bit more privacy than that. We can't let the whole public know kind of what's going on with some people's accounts. So there's, a giant need for maybe some of these kind of more kind of opaque transactions that happen there. Um, and so, the need's there for that within blockchain. And so in order to bring this to the mainstream, we need to find solutions for being able to make that happen. So kind of why right now is kind of, we're at a kind of really interesting position, not only in the crypto space, but kind of in the world in general, where privacy now with mass surveillance going on, not only in finance, but just in our everyday lives, it's becoming a lot harder and harder to find privacy in some of these spaces. So as a result of that, we think now is the perfect time to kind of allow for these privacy tools to come out to help people kind of retain their privacy within finance and within the world in general. So the combination of all these things happening now is why now would be the perfect time for a product like this.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Why don't you go ahead and show us, a little bit more, please, yeah, share your screen and yeah, let's dive into the platform, especially from, the user's perspective.
Perfect. Yeah, let me bring that up. So sharing my screen now. Cool. Could you let me know if it's, okay, there we go.
Yes,
There we go.
it's now visible.
Okay, perfect. So this is our vault right here. If you go to our main website, we have a very easily way to manage to this, and this is what the kind of main product will look like. So let's go through that real quick. The first kind of screen that will come up will ask you to connect your wallet to it. It automatically detects which wallet you have, so it doesn't have to be only MetaMask or Wallet Connect. If you have like Rabby Wallet, if you have Rainbow, any of those ones right there, it will be able to auto detect that and be able to show that right here. But for demonstration purposes, I chose to use MetaMask. So we'll go through and do that. So let me connect my MetaMask right now. Choose the demo account and we will connect. Perfect. So now that we have that set up, what you're seeing now is a pop-up access asking which chain you want to use for this. So we currently have 4 chains that are available at this moment. We have the Ethereum level 1 chain, Polygon level 2, Arbitrum, another one, and then we have BNB chain as well. We're currently working on adding more chains like Base shortly, and eventually on the roadmap, we also want to include Solana as one of the chains that we'll use in the future. But for right now, we'll choose the BNB chain. So we'll go ahead and create a vault because this is a new account. And then you'll see that there's a signature request on here. And this is so that we can create the vault, create the kind of account, so to say, for this person. So we'll go ahead and confirm that.
And the vault is essentially your unique privacy wallet, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, so on the back end, basically Lexi like interacts with the Railgun ZK contract and basically sets up like a private ZK wallet proxy for you, which is essentially just the Lexi Vault. And again, that and remember again also too, you can connect like any existing EOA wallet directly to it.
Very cool. Yeah, go ahead.
So
Ian.
cool. The next pop-up that comes up is for a Lexi ID setup. So because the ZK addresses are very, very complicated, they involved a lot of characters and stuff, maybe hard to memorize some of that. We decided to make it a little bit easier. So by having our own internal naming service. So similar to like how ENS works, we have this all set up to be exactly like that. And unlike ENS, which is publicly available, you can take a look at that. we want privacy to be involved with this. So this is all internal, and this is nothing that can be publicly looked up. So we will claim a Lexi ID, and we will choose, we'll call this Lexi demo. Today is the 7th, so we'll call it 1/7/2025.
And what's the main use case for the Lexi ID? Is it typically for transferring to one's own vault, or from P2P? What's the main use case?
So basically, what that does, it allows users to send funds like vault to vault, using just basically again the user ID
Whoops.
or the name there instead of just using the ZK wallet address. So just an easier naming style.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
Very efficient from a user experience perspective. Okay, so now the wallet is initializing.
Right. So what's happening right now is that we are basically syncing your wallet with the current blockchain. So to make a kind of long explanation short, Railgun uses a Merkle tree, kind of Merkle tree proof in order to kind of encrypt some of the transactions that happen on it. And so what's happening right now is it's syncing up with all the transactions that have happened basically recently, and then moving them down and creating basically an essentially Merkle proof, the same way that the blockchain works. And so in order to initiate a wallet, we need to basically sync the whole entire Lexi transaction, or sorry, the whole Railgun transaction on this. And so that's what's happening right now. And should be about
Yeah,
done, just finishing up a couple of the other small things.
Very cool.
yeah,
And
so
talk to me more about the partnership that you have with Railgun. I recall you mentioning that you're working hand in hand with their team. Elaborate on that a little more.
Certainly. So basically, Railgun is really good for creating the infrastructure um, kind of underneath the hood for some of these privacy transaction things. We took a look at that and thought this is a really beautiful service. This is something that we can use, but their kind of user interface maybe is a little lacking, something that can be a little bit helpful. So we went up to them and told them about this, and they were really keen to want to collaborate with us and kind of work on some of these user interfaces. And so we're basically connecting with them, trying to show them what Railgun can look like, as a practical application. And so, through this kind of partnership that we have with them, we've been able to kind of advance Lexi and progress it through.
yeah. And this is actually one of the like more
Yeah, actually,
interesting aspects as
go ahead, Drew.
well, is that yeah, sorry about that. Was that typically this is usually the slowest part of like the user experience. But what we've done is we've optimized our system to download the Merkle tree in packets. So that makes our setup time roughly about like 10 times faster than just using the traditional Railgun SDK. Go ahead, Mark. Before you cut out there.
Yeah, I just wanted to just chime in, and so yeah, we're actually in a group chat with the Railgun dev team, and they've offered dev support, and we're also working with them right now to integrate. So it's kind of touching on the future roadmap, but so we're integrating NFTs, so you can do private NFTs, and then through that, we're going to be using EIP 6551 to actually be able to create private yields, so you can spin up like your own private yield using Lido within your vault. And so the Railgun's providing support with us, like dev support, to get that created.
Excellent. Yeah, that's truly phenomenal. And I totally agree with you. From a user experience perspective, Railgun is very difficult to use, but from a technical standpoint, the work they've done is phenomenal, and they're very respected and well regarded in the space.
Absolutely.
So yes, it looks like the vault setup is complete. Like you said, Drew, took a little bit of amount of time, but if you look at the amount of encryption that's taking place here, it makes a lot of sense. So Ian, yeah, toss it back over to you.
Okay, perfect. So this is all complete. So we'll exit out of this little modal, and now we should have access to the vault. So you'll see our demo name right there, a couple of information points right there. And then we'll go over to balances just to take a look at that. So because this is a newly created account, we don't have any tokens yet. We'll change that in a second. but just want to make that aware. And then if you look down right here, you'll notice if I go over to tokens right here, this should perfectly sync up with the balances here on MetaMask.
Excellent. So with that, there's no need for the user to actually transfer those funds from, say, for instance, their public wallet to the vault.
Well, basically, I'll show you how we can add it to the vault from there.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Great.
So right now, again, that's just showing getting your public balance that's
Oh,
on
okay,
it. But now you have to
gotcha.
actually add the funds directly into the vault itself.
Mhm.
And that's when, again, you
Gotcha.
would actually be interacting there with the Railgun SDK. So you want to
Gotcha.
show that
Okay,
example
makes
there,
sense. Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah, let's do that. So we have a couple of tabs up here. And so we will go to the add tab. This is basically the same as like depositing like you would into a bank. And so we'll go down here. We have a choice of things. As you see, I only have two choices right here. We have the USD coin and BNB. So let's take a look at what that looks like if we move our $200 of USD into Lexi. So we'll go over, select
Gotcha.
max.
I get it now. So the access to the other wallet is immediately on there, and then you just need to transfer those funds to the encrypted wallet or vault.
Correct, exactly. Cool. And then we will go ahead and add the USDC. Get a little toast icon that pops up right here.
Yeah.
And then we will approve it in the wallet. So
Yeah. And it's so much more frictionless than, say, for instance, a change now that is taking immense amount of transaction fees. So for y'all to be able to do this with such a nominal, network fee, that's really profound work.
yeah, most definitely. And a little bit later on, I'll get into kind of more specifically about the fee structure and how that works. But we're one of the leading ones in terms of the fees that is caused on this, or fees that you incur
Sure.
based
Fees
on
incurred.
that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So currently at the moment, we're kind of the leader of that and one of the cheaper options.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
So
I would say extremely
Mhm.
way more secure. I think back when doing transactions on Change now, you don't. There's a point where you don't fully trust, where you have to, go, because they're doing wallet to wallet for you. But here you can, really confide in this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So get back to the demo. Yeah, we have a signature request over here. We'll just quickly confirm. This is just to make sure you are indeed who you say you are, and that your wallet is indeed the wallet that it should be. So we'll just confirm that real quick. Cool. And because we are on an EVM chain, we have to do approval. So we'll just quickly approve the amount to send over. Perfect. Transaction is complete. And then we will quickly send this over as well. Another thing I want to get into as well that Railgun does, which is really awesome, is Railgun uses relayers. So as an extra kind of thing to help hide kind of the transaction over to Railgun, we kind of use a third-party relayer thing that will take the signature of your transaction, send it over for the relayer to execute it for you on your behalf. And a little bit later on, I'm happy to go into that and talk about that a little bit more and kind of how that works.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Transaction is complete. Everything should be working perfectly. And you can see right here, we have our vault balance set for the 200 USDC that's in there. If we go over to balances real quick, we can see that that is indeed the case. Oops, sorry
Yeah,
about
and
that.
super curious to see what that transaction looks like on the scan as well.
Absolutely. So just wanted to prove that in the balances, you can see that happened. Another cool feature that we have is we have this history tab right here, which will give you a history of all the transactions that you've done within Railgun. So we have a little sort feature right here. So if you want to, you do like thousands of transactions and you kind of want to more granularly kind of limit it down, you have the ability to do so. But you'll see that we have the add to vault that we've done right here. And then if we click on this right here, we can take a look at the hashtags and see that that indeed was the case.
Are you able to explain a little bit more in detail there,
Yeah. And
Ian?
Yeah.
which is the wallet that it's saying that it's sent to? That's to the
Yeah, the
Railgun Relay, correct?
Yes. So that's to the Railgun Relay. So let me, break down a little bit of what's going on kind of behind the scenes right here. So with this transaction, in order to send it over to Railgun, there's a relayer contract that kind of stands between the EOA wallet for a user and the Railgun system. So essentially, this contract right here that it's directly interacting to is this relay contract. And so what's cool about this contract too is that it will sponsor gas transactions for the user, so that the user might not necessarily have to pay gas for it. And then it'll transfer everything properly where it needs to go to. So you'll see that there's a couple of transactions that happen right here. The first one is this one to the relay. So the main money just gets sent right here, and this is kind of like the the holding account where your money gets holding account where your money kind of gets held kind of temporarily for that in there. And then a little bit for the fees will then head over to a different wallet as well. And so
And so
within the
basically,
yeah.
so basically, when we're sending the funds out, we use our proprietary gas relayer, and we sponsor the gas on the back end. So the recipient receives just the tokens without any sort of like on-chain like trace of like where it originated. So what he's going to be showing you there is like on the block explorer, it simply just looks like our relayer paid the fee to interact with the contract, and then sends the funds out like to the actual destination.
Absolutely. That's truly phenomenal.
Yeah. So
Love that.
actually, I just wanted to chime in there again. So for this one, if you're adding funds, like you still need gas, so you have to pay the gas from your EOA to interact with the contract. But then when you're sending funds out, so which like Ian will continue with the demo to show, but when you're sending funds out, then we use our gas relayer to make it commence. And on the way in, so what you're seeing there is that like basically your wallet paid the gas to interact with the Railgun contract. The funds leave your public wallet, and then there is all you see that is you've interacted with the contract, but you don't actually see where the funds went on chain. And then like obviously as the vault owner, you see the funds are deposited into your vault. So it's
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I think we just lost him there for a sec. But yeah, Ian, you want to go ahead back in?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, like I said, and then right here. So let's go over to the next thing too. I want to show you is let's say you want to send within the Railgun system. Now we have these couple of things right here. First one is the receive for that. So say you want to receive payments or you want to let people know how to pay you within the Railgun system. We have kind of some of these easy ways to do that. First off is a QR code. We can allow people to copy this QR code, send it over where they need to, take a photo of it, and use it basically using their mobile wallet to connect to Lexi and then to Railgun. There's a quick little payment link that you can send over to people too for that as well. So if you don't want to copy your address and send that over to people, we've made some of these easier ways so that people can get that and get you paid for that.
Amazing. So frictionless from a user experience perspective. I mean, y'all were very mindful of, really making the user feel at ease with this platform.
Yeah, most definitely. The easier it is for people to use it, I think, the easier it is, to kind of get that adoption and get people using our product.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And then the next thing I want to show off is the how you can send funds to people or organizations within Railgun. So we go over to the Send tab right here. And it will show your balances over here and then allow you to choose, which tokens you want to. Unfortunately, we only have USDC available on there. So let's send $100 over to my other account over there. And we will use the Lexi ID for that. I'll use my Discord server name. And so it's just going to run a quick check just to check and see, make sure that that one does exist. Because the worst thing that could happen is, you send it to someone that doesn't exist. And then, you're wondering where your money is. So we put in lots of checks just to make sure that that doesn't happen, that if you're going to send money, the person definitely does exist and is there. So, ways that we can try and help protect people, make sure that they have their money, making sure that people have their money is, priority number one for us. And so in the background underneath the hood, that's one of the things that we're doing to make sure that that is indeed the case.
Very cool. And even a memo as well. Love that.
Exactly. So same thing. I really enjoy that in like Venmo and Cash App, being able to put little funny memes and memos on there. So we've definitely included that on there as well. Perfect. And I think now would be a good time to kind of take a look at some of the fees and kind of explain
Yeah,
where those come from too as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
So we're trying our best to make it as cheap as possible through this. So the transactions that we charge initially is just a 0.5% on or 50 basis points for every transaction that goes through it. And in addition, Railgun takes about 0.25 or 25 basis points on that as well. So the total amount that it'll cost a user for these things is about 0.75 or 75 basis points. Again, this is kind of one of the cheaper things we have
By
compared to like
far.
Houdini
By
Swap
far.
or Houdini Swap. And we'll try our best in the future to kind of work on making these fees even lower for the user because I hate fees personally myself. And the more money that we can let the user keep, I think all the better. So that's a high priority for us as well.
Yeah, and then
Very
sorry, I
cool.
also just
Yeah,
wanted to
that's-
chime in. So
Sure.
for the token utility, if you're holding and staking the token, we're planning to get like fee reductions down to 0%. Like, so basically, you would pay with the 50 bips that we take. We would reduce that down to 0 if you're holding and staking the token. So as part of the token utility.
Excellent. Super cool.
Perfect. All right. So we have the amount 100 that's set. We have the name set to verify that that's indeed the case. Awesome optional memo right there. So we will send it over.
Okay.
Oh, as you can see. Oh, because it's not.
There you go.
Right.
Perfect. Just
But
want to
the
make sure
system
that you see
worked.
that. Indeed, if
That's
that
why
doesn't
the
exist, it will
system's in
actually block
place.
that and
Yeah.
all that. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So then we can send the USDC there.
Very cool. Transaction is processing.
Mhm.
Awesome. And while we're at it, I would love to get more into the tokenomics. Can you explain that a bit more?
Perfect. Yeah, Drew, is that something that you want to cover, or do you want me to get that?
Yeah, let's see. Mark, are you still there with us? Can you chime in or?
Yeah, I mean, I can go. Sure. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't cut out. But yeah. So we're using virtuals as the launch pad mainly. So like the Siren rounds kind of like for early investors for like SAF sale, and then the main launch is coming off of virtuals, and those tokenomics are predefined. So you've got 45%, which goes to the is public basically, of which 10% or 10, about 11% goes to Siren as the SAFT, and then 35% would be public, and that's coming in at a 1 million valuation. And then 25% goes to capital allocation, so that's like the fundraising, the built-in fundraising mechanism inside virtuals. And then 25% goes to team and advisors. And so the lockups for that, so the 35% is unlocked. The 11%, or like basically what we call it 34%, and the 11% that's going to Cyrene has a 1 month cliff and then 6 months vesting. The 25% for the capital allocation, so that gets automatically released based on the smart contract by Virtuals, and that gets released at like different valuations, right? So as it goes up to like 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, it just like has slow, gradual releases. And then the team tokens, team and advisors is locked for 1 year cliff, and then a 6 month vesting period afterwards.
Very cool. Ian, so the transaction has been confirmed.
Yes, been confirmed. We can see it if we go to our history right here, see that that's right there.
Sure.
And quickly, just want to bring this up, show in base scan.
Absolutely.
So as you see, we have a kind of a signal or a signal contract that takes the contract and will send it out. But as you can see, my other account, which is Crow Web3 ETH, if you want to check that out on ENS, you can't see that anywhere on here. And the original address that sent this over, unable to see this anywhere on here. So we just wanted to highlight that when you do send transactions over here, this is the privacy in action. You're not able to see the 100. You can see that, there was a transfer. So that gets, sent over to Railgun. That's officially on the system, but we can't see how much it was. We can't see who the originator was. We can't see who the destination is for any of that stuff. None of that information is available on here whatsoever. So,
wow. That's absolutely beautiful. That's tremendous work.
Yeah. So this is privacy in action. So,
and sorry,
this is kind of why we do it. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I was gonna say I just realized I missed 5%, which is the Virtuals airdrop ecosystem. So that's the total for 100%.
Cool. Gotcha. Yeah, Ian, you were saying.
Yeah. So, this is privacy in action. This is what's amazing to me. So, as you can see right here, no, nothing on the blockchain for this stuff, with the exception of, the zero knowledge proof that gets sent over the blockchain, which, without getting too much into how encryption works right there, can only basically be done by people with the knowledge that, this is the person who sent the ID. This is all the stuff. That was kind of, sent is the only way that you would actually know that any third party that's kind of like sniffing or fishing for information, won't be able to determine that whatsoever on here.
Excellent. So cool. Ian, anything else you'd like to show us in the dashboard?
Cool. The last thing real quick, and I'll try and make this a little bit more brief for this, is how to withdraw money, how to remove money from the Lexi Vault and what that looks like. So we will head over to this quick tab right over here, the remove tab. And this is basically the withdrawal function for it, for taking money out of the Lexi Vault and then moving it back into your EOA wallet account. So we have about $100 available for that. We'll set that as the max amount that we want to take out. And here's the 75 bips right here. You can see kind of that in action right here. As the fees, take a little bit of gas fee as well, for that, for sponsorship of the gas through the relayer. So $82 for $100, or 82 cents, sorry, for $100 is not bad at all. Hopefully in the future we'll make that a little bit lower, but we're all set to go. So we'll remove the USD and withdraw that amount.
Okay, processing.
Perfect. Transaction is confirmed. So it's just resyncing up the Merkle tree on our Railgun side. And you can see our balances as immediately updated right there.
Very cool.
And then if we go over to MetaMask over here, we can see that that's happened. The $99 is been transferred over. If we go over to history real quick, we could take a look at that and take a look at the transaction hash for that. And then you can see that our same signal kind of contract that sends out the the transaction to Railgun initiated this. We'll go over to the relayer right here, and you can see that the amount, the $99 from the relayer, has gone directly over to the USD account, or the account right there, which has then sent it over to my wallet right here directly.
Very cool. Love to see it.
Yeah, so that's our product in a nutshell. Let me just real quick talk about some of the roadmaps that we're working on real quick, where we want to see the future of this, and what's coming up ahead in the curve for the Lexi Vault.
Cool.
Perfect. So what's immediately on the roadmap for us is we're going to integrate NFTs into this, so that you can take your NFTs, send it over to Railgun, and we'll be able to keep a perfect transaction of that, and be able to allow people to swap that, deposit it, do what they need to do with their NFTs. Beyond that, we'll start working with other kind of non-traditional NFTs like ERC 1155s, and then I believe it's the 6551 is the NFT vault, which allows you to hold DeFi tokens on that as well, and be able to do DeFi directly within the NFT. Once we get some of those expansions out there, we'll start working really heavily with with DeFi as well. So we'll allow people to integrate with DeFi protocols like we'll say Uniswap, 1inch aggregators as well, Aave, and various things. So those are on the roadmap as well, and we're hoping to, as quickly as possible, get that out there so that we can start getting users to be able to accrue yield and be able to work with DeFi in a private manner. And then some of the other things that we're working on as well is AI agent revolution. We want to make this even easier, the UI that we have right here. So easy that it's like, you could talk to our AI product like Eliza or something, say, hey, I'd like to transfer $100 over to Drew, at a certain time or so. And the AI will be able to take that and be able to do those transactions for you. So if we can go kind of back to how traditional bank is, where you call your banker up and he performs the actions for you, we'll eventually have an AI product which will be able to do that for the user as well.
Just to backtrack like one moment as well. Another thing we'll be doing as well will be token swaps. So confidential token swaps through the partnerships there with like 1inch, but also again with the chain. So remember again, currently we're live on Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, and BNB, which you can use right now. So we're currently working on integrating Base and Solana. Base, we already have it working on our testnet. But again, like that stuff does need to be audited, and again, that's actually a further roadmap. But remember, again, also again, Solana is going to be the next one we'll be working on as well for the immediate roadmap.
Oh, right, yeah. Thank you, Drew, for that. And then some of the things that are kind of later on in the pipeline too is we want to work with institutions, see if we can get involved with maybe making a Stripe for privacy that e-commerce can be able to use. You can go to an e-commerce website and be able to use it to buy products. We want to also have multi-sig support so that we can have maybe like DAOs or autonomous organizations be able to use it for governance and for internal kind of organizational purposes. And then finally, financial services as well. If we can eventually get Wall Street involved with Lexi too, that would be a big dream, and we're hoping that in a roadmap we can get there as well.
Absolutely. We'll greatly appreciate it. Where can we find out more about the team and the project?
Yeah, you can go directly to our website, which is lexicrypto.com. From there itself, you'd actually have our link to all of our socials, from our Twitter to even our Telegram, which we're active on as well. And yeah, you'll be able to get a hold of us, all throughout there.
Very cool. Well, we've got,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, Mark.
Oh, sorry. I was just say also the Siren page. So Siren AI. We've got
Yep.
like some blurbs about the team and stuff up there as well. And we're all on LinkedIn. So you can find us on LinkedIn. I think there should be links on the Siren page as well if you kind of want to look more on our background history.
Excellent. Well, we've got a Docs team of absolute legends. They have a tremendous amount of experience. They've built something that the market has been eagerly demanding. It works. The execution is next level, and I'm truly very excited for this token launch. So, any last words before we conclude things today?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity and for hosting and having us. Really, you have some great questions. It's really good, very insightful.
Absolutely. I'm incredibly bullish and wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Excellent.
definitely.
Thanks.